Hello everyone, this is Shinobi, once again with another Awaken Chaos Era video. So I've been back from my vacation and got over my jet lag and other travel related problems. And now I think I should be back and making more of the contents for the games that I'm playing. So I had previously shown a Queen of Tides 15 team that was based on the strategy to, remove the buffs from the queen. So that's the same thing that I'm going to do, and that's the best kind of move for a free-to-play where you do not have to use specific heroes to beat Queen 15, that is Hill Stage 3. So at this moment the stats on the team is sufficient to beat Queen of Tides 15. I will have to improve the stats a little bit more in order to beat Queen of Tides 16. But this team is completely free to play and is consistent. You will get 100% runs out of it, and you will also be able to beat get the fabled gear without having to spend on some unique hero. So all you require is 3 epics and 1 elite. You can replace a few of the heroes that is here. You can replace Kane, you can replace Rodira, but I think if you want to replace Jonathan, then it will be better to use Nathalia instead of Jonathan. But we will just discuss what the strategy is. The strategy here is to get Nathalia to deal the DPS, that is deal all the damage that is required to finish off the runs, and use Jonathan as the protector, as the tank over here, as the one who is helping everybody to survive. Rodira is the healer, and Kane is the one who is going to remove the buffs from the queen, right? So we do not want the queen to have 3 or more buffs. We want her to stay below 3 so that she doesn't get that additional turn which removes the buffs from our heroes and also deals additional damage. So we don't want that to happen. We want the queen to constantly be without any buffs or be within 2 buffs, right? So here you can see that the rotation is very simple. I'm only concentrating on the boss. I'm not concentrating on the elites because I've got Nathalia over here, and she will deal sufficient damage on the side minions in order to remove them from the picture. Jonathan here is so very crucial, right? So if you do not have Jonathan, then this run will become very difficult. You will require a really strong team, strong hero over here. Possibly Hakrin will work instead of Jonathan, but then Hakrin doesn't have that kind of a shield effect that Jonathan can give. So Jonathan's shield is so strong. Also, he's also able to deal place that heal reduction buff debuff on the queen. So he is so very important in this team. But because he's an elite and he's also a water hero, he's not a light dark hero, he's more easily acquirable, and he's also more easily built up, right? So you can easily build him up. If you're taking him to 70, that will be great. I do not have him in 70. You can see I've got all my other heroes except my Nathalia on 60. You do not need Nathalia to be full mastery, but giving her masteries is also really good. So she's the first epic that I'm trying to finish off the mastery. I've got 11 out of 15 on her. But as far as Jonathan is concerned, he brings so much into this team, right? So instead of Jonathan, you can certainly use Nathalia if you have Nathalia, but Jonathan is really good for this free-to-play team. He brings heal reduction, he brings attack down, he brings defense down, he places a shield on everybody, and also has got self-sustain, so he can heal himself up. So you do not have to really worry about Jonathan. He's so good here. Kane here, again, a really good hero over here. He can remove the buffs from the queen. I've locked his skills, so I'm only using his basic skill. I'm not using any other skills of Kane. I don't need that. I want him to remove the buffs from the queen every single turn. So every time he takes a turn, he needs to remove at least one of the buff from the queen, and that's what is my intention. So if he gets more turns, because his basic skill is subject to RNG, if he gets more hits out of it, I'm glad. If he gets basic hit, it still is fine, because what I'm requiring him to do here is to remove 1 buff. If he's able to remove more than 1 buff like he did now, he removed 3 buffs, it's great. But if he removes one buff, that's fine. As long as the queen is at 2 buffs or less, that's what is required, right? Nathalia also has got the immunity buff coming to her, which makes it easier for us to use her. I tried Beran, but because Beran does not have that immunity buff on her, like the stun that is placed by the queen gets placed on the hero that has got the highest attack, and because Beran does not have an immunity buff coming to her, it makes it very difficult for us to use her in this team composition. I was able to I tested out Beran using the same gear that I'm using Nathalia on. She was not dealing as much damage as was dealt by Nathalia, and she also was getting stunned every single time, so I did not want that. The reason why I'm using Rodira over here is because she also has got a cleanse, so she's able to clean the stun and also is able to deal back down debuff on the queen, so from using her basic. So she's also really good here. You can also use her in Queen of Tides 16, but the only problem is that at this moment my Nathalia needs and my other heroes require a little bit more stat, a little bit more HP and defense, and a little bit more damage from my Nathalia for me to finish off Queen of Tides 16. Once I'm able to finish off Queen of Tides 16 using the same team, I will be posting the stats on another video, but at this moment I'm only using these teams. So you can see over here that I'm comfortably able to deal enough damage on the queen. I'm able to remove her buffs. I'm able to keep myself alive and keep my Nathalia topped up, and is simply able to finish off the queen without any problem. You do not have to worry about about dealing damage on the queen. I'll show you the stats on my Nathalia. She does require a little bit of higher stats in order for you to deal enough damage on the queen, but yeah, because I have got other heroes over here who helps her survive, it becomes easier for me, right? Even if you have got a slightly lower stat on her, you still will be able to finish off this run, right? From what I've got. So I've tested quite a few other heroes in this team comp, in this very same team comp. I have used Cece, I was successful. I used Hazel, I was successful. So if you do not have Rodira, no problem, you can use Cece, but then Rodira is an elite. You should be having her, right? You should be able to build her up very easily. So Rodira is the best one over here because she's got cleanse and she's got heal, and she's also got that attack down over here. So she's the best healer for this team, and instead of Kane you can use Edicris, but Edicris does not have enough survival like Kane has, right? So I'll show you the skills of Kane. He can survive better than Edicris over here. You can also use Kaluk, the one that I showed in my previous video. Instead of Kane you can use Kaluk, but then Kaluk will only remove one buff every single turn, so it's going to be random. Kane has got more chances of removing buff, but Kaluk has got a 100% chance to remove one deep buff from the queen. Kane is based more on RNG, but still his RNG balances out based on the number of hits he does, right? So he can deal more than one hit, and that is also based on RNG, and it balances off ultimately. So Kane is much better hero than Kaluk, but Edicris is also good, but yeah, he has got a problem with surviving, unlike Kane. So I'd say that it's better to use Kane. So I've got my Kane in 60. He's fully ascended, but yeah, he's not like, you don't need him to be at 70. But at this moment, this team is the best one that you can have as a completely free-to-play Queen of Tide 15 team, using the strategy of removing the buffs from the queen. Of course, this is not a fast team, but who cares? Doesn't matter. Even if you're using a fast team, you might be shaving off like a couple of minutes or maybe 3 minutes. Of course, in the long run, that is a huge difference. But still, you are looking for those fabled gears, right? So I think like this team would be sufficient for us. I'm at round 36, and you can see that I'm still able to get where I want my team to be. Of course, I would prefer that my Kane is faster than my Nathalia. The only problem is that Nathalia sometimes can get the speed buff on her, so you will require your Kane to be way faster. I think like you'll require your Kane to be around 200 speed. If you're trying to keep your Nathalia at 156, then you'll require your Kane to be at around 210 or 215 speed, and that would mean that his survivability will also be reduced. But yeah, if you're able to take your Kane to 215 speed, he's able to move before Nathalia, then that would mean that if at all there is a shield buff on the Queen, Kane will be removing that shield buff from the Queen before Nathalia moves, and that means Nathalia's damage will be dealt on the Queen before the buff will be properly dealt on the Queen rather than on the shield. And also, I tested off Jonathan at the speed of 180. I think like you shouldn't give him 80 speed, because he tends to take 2 turns, one at the end of one round and the next one immediately at the start of the round. That means his block heal buff, debuff on the Queen will not be placed on 2 different rounds. It will be placed on the same round. And that means that the Queen will take these turns, and her block heal debuff will fall off, and that will cause problems. So as you can see, this is how I'm able to manage to finish off Queen of Tide 15 without losing anybody. I have not lost anyone, and I still have been able to finish it off, right? So let's quickly look at the gear of all these heroes that I have. Let's quickly look at my Nathalia. So Nathalia has got an attack of 5,994. Of course, she has been maxed out to 70, and she's got at 11 masteries out of 15. You don't need any focus on her. You just need as much crit rate and 100% crit rate and as much damage, crit damage as possible. I know I'm overcapped on my crit rate. I need to manipulate her gear a little bit more. I'm waiting for some good gear to change her crit rate and make that crit damage and health. Right? She needs more health and she needs more attack as well. Yeah, she will require around 6,200 attack in order to be useful in Queen of Tide 16, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Once I'm able to get to over 6,000 attack and over 320 crit damage, I think like I should be able to finish off Queen of Tide 16 using this same team. It will happen. It can happen. I just need more damage on her. Let me just show what else. I need to show her mastery. So she's at 11 of 15. I'm able to finish 4 out of 5 in ability, 4 out of 6 in physic, and of course 3 out of 4 in gear function. So once I think like when I get these random stats up to 20% increase in main stat for gear, that is feet, neck and hands, I think like I should be able to get more damage out of her. Right, so I should be able to get more damage out of her once I get that mastery done. You need to do Nathalia's mastery. That's what I looked at. She's the first hero that I've completed. I will be completing my mastery on. Then who is my next hero? Where is it? Where is she? Let's go to Jonathan. Now my Jonathan, he is at 22,000 HP. I need more HP on him because this team-wide shield equal to 10% of this character's max HP for 2 turns upon the release of any enemy's area ability, right? So this one can be ascended up to 20%. Okay, I need more health on my Jonathan. I need him to be at around 25 to 20, maybe as much as possible. Maybe when I'm finished taking him up to 70, maybe I'll get more HP on him. Then his this shield will be increased, and yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That will help me survive better, especially at Queen of Tide 16. So I'm trying to build up that team, build up the stats that will require me to finish off Queen of Tide 16 using this completely free-to-play team, right? The rest of the skills are not that important, but yeah, his block heal, his unhealable, is really crucial in Queen of Tide. It helps you finish off the run faster because then the right minion will not be able to heal your queen, and take care that your Jonathan is not too fast. You want him to deal the unhealable in 2 different rounds, 2 separate rounds, not one after another before the queen takes a move. So the queen should take a move after the unhealable is placed to the first time, and the second time she should be able to do that, take a move immediately after the second unhealable has been placed. So that's because this one is on 4-turn cooldown, so your basic has got 2-turn cooldown, and we want that to be consistently placed on the queen. Okay, so and yeah, this one I wish we could have locked this one, because you don't really require it here, but then yeah, it is another sustainability on Jonathan. You don't really need this on the hero. I wish Ace will make something that will allow us to lock certain skills on the hero, rather than just lock the special and the ultimate and only keep basic on the hero. Right, so this is what my Jonathan is doing for me, based on his max health, and his speed is 152, which is 2 more than Nathalia, but yet because Nathalia can sometimes get the speed buff on her, it makes really inconsistent. But I don't want him to be too fast. I just want him to be able to take 1 turn every single round. Okay, I tested him at 180 speed, and it was not working well for me. It was taking too much of time, and the unhealable was falling off, and I don't like it. So I just kept him slower. Okay, so next let us look at our Kane. So where's my Kane? So here's my Kane. He's fully ascended. I might take him to 70, but at this moment I don't need him to be at 70. Even for Queen of Tide 16, I don't think you need him to be at 70. You just need him to be of good speed. I'd prefer him to be faster than my Nathalia, to remove all the debuff from the queen before Nathalia does her remove all the buffs from the queen before Nathalia does her damage. And he does require focus, so it's very difficult because his base speed is very low, 107. It's very difficult to make him fast. Possibly maybe I might do him 70 and make him faster than my Nathalia, but then even then I'll have to have him at around 200 and above speed in order that he's able to go before Nathalia, even when Nathalia gets the speed buff on her. So I don't think it's worth it. I don't want to spend too much of my resources on building speed on him. I'd rather give him more health and more focus, rather than maybe even damage on him, rather than waste my time and my resources in speeding him up. So he's got this BS Grit trait on him that absorbs 15% of damage taken by an ally, which can be ascended up to 20%, and if this character starts the turn with less than 50% health, they absorb 100% less damage, right? So he's got a lot of survivability. He allows others to survive, which is really good trait. You know, you want others to survive. Sorry. Okay, so his basic skill, this is what I have locked up. I'm only using this skill. I don't want to use the other skills. He deals 2 to 6 strikes of 50% damage to an enemy. The first strike will remove a positive effect, while subsequent strikes will have 30% chance to remove 1 positive effect. So he's guaranteed to remove at least 1 positive effect from the queen. Okay, and the rest would be like, you know, have better chance to trigger. That is 30%, and that's RNG. So if you're getting 2 strikes, you'll remove 1 buff from the queen. If you're getting 6 strike, you might be able to remove the entire thing. Maybe do his mastery as well, but you don't need him to. You don't need to do the mastery on him. You may be required to do it on Queen of Tide 16 in order to get those sustained, you know, removal of buffs. But at 15, I don't see any point in spending that resource on him, right? So that's why I'm using him. You don't need much resources to be spent on him. His beer rush is good. You know, he's going to give defense down 2, but I don't need this. I've got even though I've got defense down 1, only defense down 1 on my Jonathan. I don't need defense down 2 because this just eats up. I would have it's upon the number of turns it takes to remove the buffs from the queen. I want that buffs to be removed every single time, so I'm not bothered about this. My last hero is Rodira. Instead of Rodira, you can use Hazel, you can use Mary, I've used Mary. Can you believe that? I used Mary, I used Cece, and I still was able to finish off Queen of Tide 15. So Queen of Tide 15 is quite simple. For my Rodira, I just gave her my Gangelo gear. I did not bother to do much of a change on her. She's pretty fast. You don't need her this fast. But yeah, because she's faster than my Nathalia, even if my Nathalia has got the speed buff on her, she's still able to cleanse Nathalia when my Nathalia has been stunned. Okay, and she's got pretty high health and yeah, good focus. You don't need focus on her, but the only reason why I'm using focus on her is because of this. Even though this has got only like 50% chance to apply the attack down, it still is a chance, right? You still are able to place that attack down on the queen, and it is very important that we place attack down on the queen. It helps us to survive better, right? So it's better to do that, and get that attack down on the queen, and that's very, very good for the runs. Yeah, so this is basically the team that I used. As I said, you can use Celestial Kane, you can use Hazel. I had used Hazel as well instead of Rodira. She works well. You can also use Cece. She too works well. But the only problem is that by the end, Cece does not cleanse Nathalia. Okay, unlike Hazel, I think like so Hazel can also cleanse. So Hazel and Rodira are really good really good heroes that you can use over here, but Cece does not cleanse, and because of that the stun just keeps stays there on Nathalia, which makes it very difficult for us to deal enough damage on the queen. So it's better to use Hazel, Celestial Kane, Rodira as your free-to-play heroes, with Rodira being one of the best options in addition to Hazel to finish off Queen of Tide 15. So I think like this strategy that I've come up with, you can simply use that to finish off Queen of Tide 15, and it's free to play. Everybody can do that, and that's what is more important for me. I was just thinking of speed runs are fine if you've got the heroes. We have already showcased the speed runs for Queen of Tide 15. You can use those speed run heroes. You can use your Light Dark Beran. You can use your Marian Shadowblood. You can use those heroes to finish off the Queen of Tide 15 faster. But if you do not have those heroes, then the best option is to go for this one, right? And I think like anybody can build this team. You don't have to make a lot of expenditure. The only expenditure that you have to make only resource that you have to spend on is on Nathalia. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that you have, if you have not yet finished Queen of Tide 15, or if you're finding trouble on getting a consistent team, you can certainly use this team to get a consistent run. This is 100% consistent, and you can get, if you're having better stats on your heroes, you might be able to finish it off between 36 to 45 rounds. Yeah, so that's all from me for now. Let me know your comments on the team that has been showcased here. What do you think about it? What are your opinions on improving this one, making it faster, making it better? And of course, like and share my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your time. Peace, love, and blessings to all of you. Bye.